Okay, welcome to our next tutorial. Up to now, you should have completed all 5 of your minimum pages that are needed for this assessment task in Dreamweaver, and they should all be created as HTML documents. They should all be saved in your root folder of your site. So in your Files menu, you should be able to see your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, plus your 4 folders, and in your image folder, you should be able to see your PNG files. I also have my PSD files stored in there in case I'd like to make any edits later on, but that's not necessary. You definitely should have your PNG files there though. Okay. So to begin, I'm starting on the index page. What we are doing now is to create links between each of our pages. Now I obviously want, every time someone presses on this home button, I want it to go to the home page, and if you press on products, I'd like it to go to products, photo gallery to photo gallery, and likewise for the about us and the contact us. To do that, because we are working in static images, we're not working in physical boxes here, we're working in one static image that's been saved for our website. We're going to use a map system where it will determine the coordinates on the website, which are going to be active links to pages. So if you're in design view, it's very important you're in design view here and not live view. If you are in live view, you will not be able to see the tool that I'm talking about. So make sure you are in design view. On your index page, I'd like you to go to the very bottom where you can see this properties panel. Now, if you cannot see your properties panel, I'd like you to go Window. I'd like you to make sure that Properties panel is ticked. Now, if you find that your Properties panel is in a different location around your screen, that's totally fine. You can just click it and drag any of your panels around where you'd like them to be, and they simply just snap in place. So, for example, Properties might be sitting solo. It might be linked onto the side over here. It might be sitting on this side. I want my properties down the bottom because it's the way that works best for me. So there it is, properties is on the bottom. Now in the properties, on the design view, you can see this map feature. You'll see an arrow, you'll see a box, a circle, and a polygon. We're going to be working with rectangles for my website. You might have circle links, in which case you might like to use the circle. So I'm going to use the rectangle. I'm going to draw a rectangle around this part here, and you'll see that I now have a blue box. This blue box is a map that can be hyperlinked to pages within my website. So when someone clicks on my website in Google Chrome anywhere inside of this blue section, I want it to go to the product page. Now once I've drawn this blue box, you'll see that at the bottom the options change. I have the link, which is hashtag at the moment. I want to change that, so let's just go browse for file, and it immediately goes to the root folder, which is good, and I want it to go to my products page, open, and that's it. I then continue to draw rectangles for all of the different sections and link them up to the appropriate pages. Now you'll notice, oh, sorry about that. You'll notice that in my names, photo gallery I have listed as 2 separate words, and I have an underscore in between them. That's to prevent any issues with the addresses of the websites caused by spaces. Spaces aren't very useful when we're using URLs. You've probably never been to www.googlespace.com because it wouldn't work, because that website doesn't exist. That's because space stops the address from working. So we want to avoid spaces, so anytime you'd like to use a space, just put a underscore or another symbol in there. Okay? Not a dot and not a slash though. Okay? But an underscore is appropriate to use for spaces, and you work your way through the document. Now I'll point out that this heat map, or this hotspot map, relies on coordinates. So if my image is 1280 pixels wide. When I go to my map code, the location of the map is going to be given in specific relation to the image with regards to pixels. Why is it important for me to tell you this, do you ask? Well, you may remember in the previous tutorial, we actually changed our images, our background image files, so that they would shrink and expand as Google opened and closed. Now, while that is a very cool feature, it will not work if you are planning to use hotspot maps like we are. So you need to ensure that you do not have the 100% setting for the width of any of your images. Now, if I have these 5 hotspots ready to go, I'm just going to go back to my code view and I'll show you what I'm talking about. In my image line, remember I have the source of my image, I have the alternate text, width and height. Make sure those definitely say 1280 for width and 720 for height before you begin doing any of this mapping that we've just done. You will then see a new part of the code has been entered in line 9 that says, I want this image to also use a map. Which map? Well, the map below. Here it is. For the map, in the area, which is a rectangle shape with the coordinates of 196, 179, 450, 225, I want that particular rectangle to reference the products page. So when I click on that particular rectangle, it's going to open the products website. The next one will open photo gallery, the next about, the next contact, and the next index. Then I've got end map, body, save. If I save that website now and I view it live inside my Google Chrome, index.html, here it is. And you can see my mouse, when I hover over, the mouse changes to a hand, and that indicates that there is a link available. And if you look down in the very bottom corner of the screen, so where my mouse is circulating now, if you look there while you're hovering over, you will see that it's telling you at the moment that link is for photo gallery, products, home, about us, contact. So you can double check you've got it correct. To test that it works, simply click on photo gallery and it should open up your photo gallery page. Now, congratulations. You've created all of the links on your index page. You'll notice that the links aren't working anymore, and that's because you've actually moved pages. You're now on your photogallery.html page, which you haven't done your map for yet. So back to Dreamweaver, you need to do all of this coding for each of your pages. Now, you can draw those rectangles in by doing that. You can use circles or other polygons if you like, whatever you need to. A handy little tip from me. If you are 100% sure that your website has a consistent link bar at the top like mine does, where the position of the home button is exactly the same in every single one of your pages, then you can do something pretty special. And what that is go to your code, you can highlight and copy all of that map code into each of your sites. Okay, and you'll see that I'm just doing that now, working through each of my sites. Okay. Now, at the present time, if I save each of these sites and test them in the browsers, it's not going to work just yet because I also need to copy this last bit which says use the map, and that's in your image code. So again, back here, after your alternate text, you can just put in the use map code. Oh, I've just opened Spotlight by accident. Save, 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 save. Go to your Google Chrome, and you should, once you refresh the page, find that each of your links now work, and you can go from any page to any page. Congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. You now have a fully functioning website courtesy of Dreamweaver and Photoshop. From here, it's all folio and getting yourself ready for submission. Thanks very much. This is another tutorial from Mr. Dwyer.